Right. I am back with this letter. I think I'm going to make a point just about basically one pretty much sentence where it's this. It's mentioned a few times about that need to be heard and how important that is. And yeah, it is behind the reason for a lot of my candor on Facebook. But that was more about things that I felt like icky and ashamed about a lot of the time. So I was just being fucking honest about them, saying, "There you are. I'm really fucking ashamed of myself. Now what?" Because it's a way of challenging it. But that need to be heard. It's like it's an interesting point with the way like society deals with helping someone, chatting to someone, and there's something about the difference between sympathy and empathy. And a lot of the time, I think actually people need sympathy. They don't need empathy, because what happens is you're if you think you're giving empathy, what most people go down the identification route. You hear that in rehab all the time. People need identification. But point one, you've started talking about yourself and you stopped listening. But point two, you're now living your experience of it. And that's not empathy. Empathy is feeling what they're feeling, not feeling what you felt. That's like the simplisticalness of it. And I think another thing is like, there's this person in society that doesn't really exist, but we're all fucking frightened of being. And it's the moaning, whinging, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of the time I've had, so many people who aren't psychologists or counsellors or anything, but just have a very strong opinion on the fact that if oh, there. You get that sarcastic fucking, they just want someone to go, there. Yeah, why not? Actually. Because it's the feeling of being heard isn't cognitive, it's more emotive. If I may use an analogy, because I always fucking do use analogies. But it's like she's dealing cards. She goes, "It's that one." And then you pull out the four of hearts and she goes, "Yeah, that one." It's about that recognition, that sort of emotional connection, not relationship with or responsibility for or to. And that's where you all get fucking muddled up, I think. That's what being heard fucking means. It's not about intellectualizing it back to someone or comparing it to something or living your own experience of it. And you're so heavily at risk of talking about yourself when you, and yeah, fucking course I'm guilty. That's why I'm fucking able to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? We all do it. We all do it, and it does fucking need changing, because it's, I've had training on how to show listening, active listening and fucking all the different names which I forget. But simple reflections, enhanced reflections, there you go, those sorts of things. And those are cognitive ways of demonstrating that you're listening, because you're repeating back the elements of the story, or you're asking for developments on it which show that you've listened, because you use the name of the person and say, what did they think about the thing that happened? So your question demonstrates that you've listened to everything. That sort of shit. But do you know what? Some of the most helpful conversations I've had have been where I get to the bit that, opening up about the shit that put me here is difficult because there's so many opinions about it. And you're often coming up against brick walls and preconceived ideas. But sometimes when you just say something and the person instantly goes, "Oh my God," and they sympathise, they might touch your arm, they might touch their own heart. Shit like that is what makes people feel heard. I'm not even talking about me anymore. That's how to make people feel heard. And that's how to fucking help them. But all too often what we do is to go, "Oh, stop fucking thinking about what everyone else thinks you." We interrupt them and shout at them effectively. We bully them softly with a smile and ruffling their hair. and say, come on, don't worry about it. And it's fucking really not always the way. What's wrong with a bit of fucking sympathy? If that's how you understand it. I was going to look up sympathy and empathy and look at the dynamicals. But I'd have just fucking baffled the shit out of myself with it, probably. But it came from a lot of my thinking that led to my sort of connection with my female side. Is like, why am I thinking like a woman? Because I've read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And I just literally was reading all the bits about when a woman needs to feel fucking heard and understood. And I was going, yeah, exactly. And then I walked away, noticing how many women in my life, when I talked about my feelings, started going into advice mode, which is apparently what men do. And it just made me think, are we just all identical? Or am I a woman? I definitely was just fucking reading that bit going, I fucking hear you, sister. I really fucking was. But that's the fucking point. That's the point. She's showing you her heart and what's in it. She's not asking you to do fucking anything with that other than recognise it. And you demonstrate that so often by feeling it with them. That's what I sort of think, you know, is it empathy or sympathy? Sympathy makes me think of synchronised. And that's basically what it is like synchronising with their feeling. And get, you know, a dear departed angelic cosmic friend of mine who's now passed, bless her beautiful heart, she said your heart noise, she did a meditation, she said your heart noise is actually this almost sort of sad and wistful. So that's kind of how to connect with the heart, with that noise that we all think of as like gooey wooey sympathy. We're all scared of being that fucking wimp. We've all got to show how fucking big balls we've got, pull up our fucking panties or whatever the fucking expression is. We're bullshitting ourselves into fucking sickness. And I'm just a very good bullshitter then. Because I bullshitted myself into some twisted fucking sickness. Is basically what I seem to have done. But I just, this one's like one of the things that I really think needs to change. And this isn't just my fucking experience. It's what I see happening all the time. Because I am so fucking emotionally attuned to people. When I see it happening, I feel what that person's feeling. And it's not nice. And I think that's me then sympathising with them without them knowing about it. And I know a lot of other people go through that. It's the same kind of concept as when people hate buddies because it makes them flare up and that sort of thing because they feel the energy of it. I feel the energy of a lot of fucking shit. And that softly bullying and that piss-taking fucking stuff is toxic, mate. End of. Making assumptions about people and stuff like that. People need listening to. People need to feel heard. They need to feel heard. Not to be told that they have been heard by talking about how they have been heard in an objective way. Yeah, I fucking listened to you. That, you know, just putting it over there somewhere. See, you know I listened to you. Because I didn't say anything. That's what most people think is listening to you. You just don't say anything and wait to reply because you've already decided what you're going to reply and you've already decided what advice you're going to tell them. Well, what instruction list you're going to give them. That's what it turns into. If you stand back and take a look at it. Person A talks this feeling, that feeling, that feeling. Person B gives them a list of instructions of separate things to go and do right now. And if they resist it, then they want to stay sick. They want to stay unwell. Well, fuck them then. That's like a microlized version of the kind of interaction that I'm talking about that was happening again and again and again and again. And I know it happens to a lot of you guys, and I know a lot of you grin and bear it. And if you're still grinning and bearing it, you're just at a lower level, but you're going to get sicker. That's my experience of it. Be kind to people. I see it on my Facebook every single day, and this is the kind of shit that is being kind. When someone is being a bit desperate, clingy, needy, weepy, all of those things, they don't need to be told fucking off. They don't need to be told that they're wrong. They don't need to be even if you think they're wrong, it doesn't fucking matter. It's actually none of your fucking business, which at some point in the conversation you will say yourself anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to be kind to people, be kind to them and give them space to be themselves. And when they say something that hurts, recognise that hurt in them by pouring your heart out to them. Hear it in their voice. And when there's pain there, just fucking feel it with them. It doesn't mean it's forever. The reason people turn into needy, clingy bastards is because every time they try and show that thing to someone else boots it one. That's what's fucking happening. That's what's fucking happening. It really is. I'm starting to get emotional. I am. And it's 10 minutes, so I'll end with a smile.